The movie is Lurker, which was written and directed by Alex Russell. The psychological thriller film follows Matthew, a retail employee who manages to infiltrate the inner circle of Oliver, a rapidly rising musician on the verge of stardom. As Matthew works to ingratiate himself deeper and deeper with Oliver and his entourage, access and proximity become a matter of life and death. I think everyone has that favorite artist or musician that, if you actually met in real life, you'd probably fan out way too hard to the point that it actually gets a little bit scary.
Hi, Kevin.
Like if I ever met Denis Villeneuve or Daft Punk, I couldn't help but gush about their work, to the point that they'd probably just pretend that they only spoke French just to get out of the conversation. This movie takes that very relatable perspective of being a huge fan of someone like that, but it applies it to this person who is extremely calculated, narcissistic, and a potential sociopath. I absolutely loved this movie. One thing about it, though, that particularly struck me was how incredible the direction is, which is shocking when you consider that this is the directorial debut for Alex Russell. There are a bunch of fantastic films that are very similar in nature to this one that feature an individual who's obsessed with another person in some way, shape, or form, like The Talented Mr. Ripley or The King of Comedy. But Alex Russell was able to make something that felt fresh and different than all those predecessors, which is truly remarkable given the number of great films that already saturate that space. The film is largely focused on rising musician Oliver, who is played by Archie Madekwe, and it manages to capture that industry and space extremely well, avoiding the common tropes and tired cliches that are so often accompanied by characters like that. His entourage, the shared house they were renting, and the dynamics of the group all felt very authentic. Their interactions and conversations were just nailed and totally believable, which I think is rarely the case in movies about musicians like that. While the film does feature some great dialogue, the real meat of the film is in the action of the script and its nearly perfectly executed direction. The film highlights the extreme highs and lows that Matthew feels, and the direction of Alex Russell, accompanied by the impressive score from Kenny Beats, puts you right there with him. So you're sitting front row on this wild roller coaster of emotions he experiences. This isn't a dialogue heavy movie because it doesn't need to be. So much of the story is told from Matthew's nuanced facial expressions and body language. Théodore Pellerin was able to convey so much of who this unsettling character was through his outstanding performance of Matthew. Whether that was through a subtle glance that lingers just a little too long, or a slight smirk that's more calculated than it is organic, or the coldness in his expression when he's analyzing a potential threat, his portrayal is masterful and provides deep insight into the mind of Matthew. The movie is an amazing exploration of its two main characters. Matthew, the obsessive and possessive outsider, and Oliver, the almost intentionally aloof artist who enjoys the competition for his affection more than he'd care to admit. The relationship between these two evolves and mutates in so many ways as the film goes on, and it's just thrilling to watch their dynamic continue to develop as the tension between them grows. The word limerence, which, full disclosure, I just found out existed, is particularly applicable to Matthew in the film. Limerence is defined as the state of being infatuated or obsessed with another person, typically experienced involuntarily and characterized by a strong desire for reciprocation of one's feelings, but not primarily for a sexual relationship. While I think it very clearly applies to Matthew, I think the thing that's really interesting about this film is the ambiguity that his character shows. He's a person that's actually very difficult to ever fully understand. And I briefly mentioned Kenny Beats earlier, but I have to give him flowers for not only his score, which was unbelievably good, by the way, but also because he's basically responsible for all the music in the film, including the songs by Oliver. And the vocals on those songs by Oliver were actually performed by Archie Madekwe, the actor who plays Oliver in the film, who incredibly was not a musician before this film. Also, side note, I can't stop listening to Love and Obsession, which is one of the songs from the film. The movie was shot on 16mm Kodak film, and it truly looks gorgeous. Despite being an indie film with a low budget, Alex Russell's commitment to shooting on film made all the difference in the crispness of the visuals and the overall tone of the film. Lurker is an atypical thriller film that I absolutely loved because of its exceptional acting performances from the two leads as well as the rest of the cast, the sensational score and original songs from Kenny Beats, the flawless visuals captured on real film from Alex Russell's superb direction, and the disturbing and suspenseful plot that's tension slowly squeezes you tighter and tighter until the credits finally roll. The film is currently scheduled for a limited release on August 22nd, So if it's available near you, I absolutely recommend trying to catch this one on the big screen so you can see these amazing visuals and hear this killer music in the theater. So go watch Lurker. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, please share it with a friend, add a comment letting me know what you thought of this movie or what movie you think I should review next, and subscribe to my channel. I put out a movie review each week, so subscribe to stay tuned. Thanks, y'all.